Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't run to the microphone, and I'll keep this as brief as possible. We heard a lot today already. Several members have already mentioned some of the points that I think I'd just like to summarize. We've heard about past mistakes, the funding formula, and whose responsibility is it? Well, most people here know that property taxes is the #1 issue in my district. And I'd like to stay focused on property. This is the biggest and most mentioned topic in this body since I've come here. We've heard 1971 property tax rent rebate was created, 97 homestead exclusion, 98 Act 50, 2001 Act 24, 2004 Act 72, 2006 Act 1. I guess the question tonight really is it working? The Constitution was mentioned earlier. And if you think about property, I'd like to revisit that. General Assembly shall provide for the maintenance and support of a thorough and efficient system of public education to serve the needs of the Commonwealth. It does not say homeowners shall do this. I have, like many of you, been bombarded with the past decisions that have been made here in the district, not only after election, but even prior to it. I've had constituents whose home that I've stopped at asked me to come in. One couple showed me they had 3 to 4 years left with their budget as they saw it to stay in their home. A woman called me to her house just last year. It was a home that she bought and paid cash for after her husband died, and she sold her first house. She bought a house in my district, paid cash for it, became ill, and because of the rising property taxes, is unable to pay the bill. I was not sure what all she was referring to because she was not clear at the time. She was pretty upset. And I went there. And what I found was a sheriff posting on her front door. That was for her property taxes only. An elderly woman came in my office unannounced. She sat right in front of me at my desk. She pulled her property tax bill out of her pocketbook. She said, "I can no longer afford to pay this. Can you help me?" Secretary of Aging visited a senior center in my district, a model senior center, I might add. And after he gave us an update, it was time for questions and answers. The only questions that were asked him was about their property taxes. I recently was invited to an event in Berks County hosted by the Realtors. Secretary of State came, keynote speaker, did a great job. Time for questions and answers. The only questions that were about property taxes. You know, when the Constitution was mentioned, I have to go back to a part that troubles me in Article 1, where it says all men are born equal, free, and independent, have certain inherent and infusible rights, among which are those of enjoying and defending life, liberty, of acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and reputation, and of pursuing their own happiness. I've questioned this for quite some time. It's bothered me. I've been questioned even as a former school director. And I understand the challenges we have. Believe me, I do. When we talk about someone's property, I'm truly bothered. We honor our veterans, and rightly so, heroes. On the House floor, I thank you all for the support that you gave when we honored a local veteran who's since passed away, Dominic Martirona. He served our country well, as many of you have, and your relatives. Those men and women served our country, defended our Constitution for what it says and what it means. Now I ask you to be a hero for homeowners. Vote yes on Amendment 3448. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.